bright up here now. It was darker earlier. What is it? Y'all probably fall asleep if you turn the lights down. Pierce, you got Ezekiel 36:26 real quick. So that song said, take out your heart of stone, right? So what we got to do? Moreover, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. And I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. Why is that important? I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you will be careful to observe my ordinances. All right. Spiritual temperature. Have you guys ever heard of spiritual temperature? Me neither. I think I just kind of made it up. But anyways, here we are. This church is funny the way the temperature works. So this side, you got a vent coming in here, vent coming over here. It's really easy to control. This side over here, that vent up there, it's blocked. It flows straight up. This one comes straight down, right? Well, this side's colder all the time. All right? LJ's shaking her head, yeah. But why do you sit over here? 'Cause it's comfortable. This is where I like to sit, right? So we have blankets up here if you need it. Instead of moving over here where it isn't, we stay over here. Why do we do that? Why do we? Because what? Habit, growth, yeah. So we're going to talk about growth mindset, right? This isn't picking on anybody. This is about me. This is to me, right? Brother Kyle says, if you have enough spirit in you, you won't be offended. I don't really know, or enough word in you, you won't be offended. But if you're looking for offense, you'll find it. So don't take it here. I'm preaching to me, all right? This has nothing to do with anybody else. All right, so there's a thermostat for your life. And people can't really see it, right? So here's this. Can everybody see this cool little thermostat? All right. So I want you to think about, where are you running spiritually? This is an internal test. What's your spiritual temperature? Are we an infant? Are we a toddler? Are we an adolescent? Teenager? Adult? Instead of senior citizen, I'm going to call him master. Are you a master in your spiritual? You like that? Hey, there you go. Master division. People can see what's on the outside, but more often than not, the scene regulator, it shows how much love, happiness, and fulfillment in your life that you have. How much fruit can you produce? This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. So what temperature are you running at? Because it doesn't matter what the temperature is outside. So let's just say it's 90. We're just coming off of summer. It's 98 outside. We can't control what's happening outside, but we can control what happens on the inside because we have a thermostat. And we can control the temperature, right? That's kind of like what we're doing in our life. We can't control what happens outside of us. But bad things are going to happen. So what? There was a guy that I coached with 2 summers ago. Maddox was on the team. He was a young guy. He played college baseball, and I've been coaching for a long time. And I can't really say I never thought I'd learn from him, but that's a dumb way to look at something, isn't it? Everybody has something you can learn, either good or bad. But This guy had a phrase that blew my mind. It's 2 words. So what? So what? It's like, no. We don't so what stuff. We harp on it. We dwell on it. What do you mean, so what? What? Well, things are going to happen. You'd strike out. God trot over there to the dugout. He'd be like, hey, so what? You still got another at bat coming. That's pretty powerful. I'm over here like, what are you doing? Swing the bat. What are you swinging at? You know, his temperature ran a little bit better than mine when it come to that. So, in that case, Coach Ray, a 23-year-old college baseball player, helped raise my temperature a little bit to where I could run hotter for Christ. And this wasn't a biblical conversation. It was just an eye-opener. John 1, 2 through 4. All things came into being through him, and apart from him, nothing came into being that has come into being. So, if we don't like where our temperature's at, and we don't like where our spiritual temperature's at, what can we do? Who do we go to? We go to God. We go to the Word. We go to find out. We go to find out how we can change it. In ways we can change it, we got 3 ways. We got faith, we got intention, and we got association. So faith, we got to have it. If you're here, I pray that you have it. Because without faith, it's going to be hard to not let the outside temperature affect the inside temperature. Right? You got to have intention. So are you being intentional? What are you doing different? Are you doing the same thing to stay at the same temp? If you don't like where you're at temperature-wise, I mean, you can apply this to your life. It don't have to be spiritual. Spiritual and life tends to go hand in hand. Is that where God wants you to be? Is what you're doing today and where you're at today, is that where God wants you to be? You're here for a reason, right? You want to be better. You want to learn something. Or if you're just checking a box, hey, I came to church Sunday, I feel better. If you're here with a growth mindset, hopefully today can start your intentional journey. Association, man, this is a big one. Association. All right, so besides your spouse and your kids, your family, besides your family, name 3 or 4 people. Just think in your mind. I don't care. Close your eyes, think about it. Who are the last 3 people or 4 people you spent time with? What's their spiritual temperature? Is it worse? Is it better? Is it higher? Is it lower? When you're a coach, you spend time with kids. That can help, or it can hurt, because they're looking at what your temperature is too. So is someone hanging out with you for a reason, or are you hanging out with somebody else for a reason? You know, find a circle that you can either help or that they can help you. But here's the thing. It's not just a theory. It's a call to action. So you ever heard, just do something already. Nick Saban, I watched a rant this week. He said, nothing. You're either doing nothing, you're talking about nothing, thinking about nothing. Nothing gets in the way of a lot of progress and a lot of growth. So be careful with nothing. So God created you to do something meaningful and great in this world. That's pretty cool. That's good to know. Think about it like that. You don't give yourself enough credit. So you were born to contribute, grow, and impact others in both a big or a small way. The key is you have to unlock it. You have to unlock it. You can't just be like, I'll get out there someday. I'll get out there some way. If you've received the Holy Spirit, it's in you. It's in you. It can lead God and direct you. You just have to stay connected to the vine. We have to pray. We have to read. I mean, it's just waiting to be tapped into. So what are you doing with what God gave you? Prayer, reading, fellowship, in the right circles. You may be put in a circle to where you are the light. You ever think about that? Has somebody ever asked to hang out with you? Well, they ask to hang out with you because they're drawn to you. Are they drawn to you because of the light? Something that they see in your life that they like, that they want to be better at? Or are you looking at people who be like, man, that guy's really good in his relationship. I want to try to be around him to figure that out. I always tell the kids, I was like, look, you can be a leader of two things. Maddie can probably quote this word for word. You can be a leader of the knuckleheads, or you can be the leader of the good guys. Well, you choose. I mean, I wish more of my friends were here today. They came probably. You know what I'm about to. What am I about to say, Mike? You were a leader of the knuckleheads, just like I was. We could get more people to go to 10 Killer and tie up boat to boat and throw down. Like we could get 20 on a weekend easy, not even trying. That ain't hard. Well, it's a lot harder to get people to go the other way, right? But we got to tap into our faith. We got to tap in. We got to be intentional. Got to be intentional. What causes our temperature to regulate up and down? By the way, one of the things that causes my temperature to regulate up and down, can y'all see this? Is that a 6 or a 9? Huh? 9? 6? Hey, who's right and who's wrong? Nobody. Oh my gosh, that took me a long time to figure out. You always think you're right. Proverbs 21:2, Pierce, can you help me with that? Well, there it is. There it is. Every man's way is right in his own eyes. Who weighs the hearts? But the Lord weighs the hearts. To do righteousness and justice is desired by the Lord more than sacrifice. Every one of us think what we see is right. And the only way to really, in my mind, focus on change for me is the heart of stone is removed. And the heart of flesh, you got to work on it. You got to work on it. You got to stay in it. You automatically don't roll out of bed doing awesome things. You may have a good day, right? But a lot of times the outside temperature, you wake up, you've got 2 text messages, and now guess what temperature it is in the house. So we have a God that wants us to succeed. That's what's awesome. He wants us to have favor and comforts us all the time. All the time. Willingly. Lovingly. We just have to receive it. So what are some temp droppers? Give me some temperature droppers. Man, those are easy. Car breaks down. Unexpected bill. Tax season. If you're on the other end of a 1099. It changes my temperature on the inside. Illness, lost loved one, or heartache. How do you seek joy? Our temp has to be raised from the inside, so the outside trials and happenings don't lower your temp inside. So what? Something happens, so what? Psalm 34:19. I'm glad I don't have to turn around and look anymore because I have a bald spot right here. And every time I turn around, y'all can see it. How vain is that? Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. What in the world? That's the first thing I think of when somebody makes me mad. No, it's not. No, it's not. It should be, but it's not. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them. Another way to look at that, the righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to rescue them. That's comforting, isn't it? My grandma, she's 95. We just put her in a nursing home. And she used to say something all the time. Nan, how you doing? Go see her in the morning as much as I could. Oh, good. Every day with the Lord is a good day. Every day with the Lord. That sounds great to say. But to really live that out, it's different. So if we're not consistently working on our heart, our internal temperature, so the outside temperature don't turn it completely down or up, whichever way, wherever the Lord wants you to regulate that, I would imagine he wants you operating at 100. At 100. You know, you ever send a text and put the red 100? It's not just an emoji, guys. Not just that. We want you at 100. Do you pray for missing car keys? Do you? They're masters. They're not senior citizens in the spiritual tent. They're masters at it. No, I'm saying that is that's giving it all. Nan would say, hey, have you seen my keys? Well, Nan, I come by 3 days a week, 4 days a week. I don't know. What keys are you talking about? Well, I'll just take a walk and I'll pray about it. Next day, Nan, did you find your keys? Oh, yeah, Lord showed me right where they were at. Man, we want to put a tracker on them dudes, right? She's got one. She's got a tracker. She just goes for a walk, talks to the Lord, because every day with the Lord is a what? Good day. Good day. Do we call on him enough? Or is it too big? Is it too big? So what? But you don't just leave it at so what. There's action after that. That same summer, Maddox was throwing. We're in the state playoffs. He's throwing great. It's 0-0. We can't score. They can't score. Winner advances. Loser goes home. This dude gets up to bat. It's his third time up, and he just looked like Ned in the first reader at the plate. We walk him. Maddox walks him. I'm like, you can't walk the leadoff batter. He's the 9-hole. He's 0 for 2, blah, blah, blah. What's Coach Ray say? So what? So what? Dude eventually comes around and scores. It's 1-0, but we can't score. And Maddox is throwing great. Only dude, it's 1-0, and it's getting close. And we get runners on and 2 outs. We get a hit, and I'm like, I got to score this guy. I get completely out of character. I'm coaching third, and I'm like, come on. We got to tie this game up. Dude, he gets thrown out by 5 steps. And I'm like, I started overcompensating and trying to do too much. If I leave this guy on third, the next guy gets a base hit, we tie the game. I tried to control the situation. Next guy gets up there. Max is just throwing great. Great. I've never in my life let him throw 104 pitches through a complete game, 1-0. The only guy that scored, we just couldn't score. I get another guy thrown out in the bottom of the last inning to lose the game because I'm trying to control it. Coach Ray said, what'd he say? So what? So what? Best game I've ever seen Maddox throw in my life. And I'm trying to overcompensate. I did not let the temperature organically. I was trying to get in the way. right? We ever do that? Anybody ever do that? Am I the only one, Mike? Am I the only one? Have you ever made a bad call in a game trying to? Friday night. And this wasn't about your walk. You threw amazing. But it was good. All right. Back to intention. So we talk about faith. Every day is with the Lord is a good day. We know where to go. We know how to get there, right? Who can get us there? We know God gets us there. So have you ever said, I'll be more confident one day when I get that house, when I learn more, when I make more money, when I score that touchdown? Man, we can't catch or get all the blessings or the plans God has for us if you're always gonna do it. Gonna do it. Man, we got to be intentional. You're always going to be chasing your tail. Always going to be chasing your tail. You don't get lucky. Lucky is when preparation meets opportunity, right? Who said that, Pierce? George Washington. I don't know. Did I just make that up? No, I didn't make that up. George Washington. All right. When preparation meets opportunity is luck. So you got to be ready. You got to do the things. All right, so I told a story about Maddox walking a guy, so I'll flip that around. So when I met Maddox, he was little, 2. About 4, I don't know why it took so long. I don't know. A couple years later, I threw a ball up, and he goes, geez, and it drops. He's little, guys. I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here? Why are we run? If you know me, you do not run from a ball. You either take it on the face or you catch it. What are we doing? So I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, we got some work to do there. I looked at Heather. I was like, what have y'all been doing? He had like curly hair and skater shoes. He could ride a skateboard and he could ride a motorcycle. But dude, if you know anything about me, I can't relate much to that, but I can relate to you if it's round. We can throw a ball. So we started working on it, and we worked on it. And this dude did everything I ever asked him to do. The other night, for his first football game, I talked to the PA guy, the announcer, and I said, hey, everybody has always pronounced his name wrong. This is how you say it. It'd be really nice for his senior year if one PA guy can get this right. And he says, all right, cool, what is it? And he told me. I told him how to announce it and say it and all that. So the next day he texted me and he said, hey, did I say it right? And I said, yeah, you did a good job. Thank you. He said, that kid's got a really good set of hands. He really can't catch. And I was like, we come a long way. We come a long way from the first time we met. And he didn't do it. He didn't do it all at one time. How many years was that? 14 years in the making? That's 14 years in the making of a dude with a ball goes up, he goes, ah! Smart reaction, don't get hit. But sometimes you got to get in a fight and stay in the fight. And it don't happen overnight. So be intentional. You're not going to, hey, how long's that been up there? Well done. How do you got to build it? Builder. Do you grab a wall and you just deliver the wall of concrete or slab and do you do that? How do you do it? You build it one brick at a time. Small daily action is greater than a perfect delayed plan. You can't expect to wake up and be perfect. You can't expect to wake up and be great at it. But what can you do every single day? Huh? Just one more day. I tell people all the time. That's a lie. I don't tell people all the time. That's a habit. I just say that. I don't know why I do. I got to get better at that. I was talking to a guy the other day. That's more accurate. I was talking to the guy the other day, and he was talking about wanting to quit his job. And I was like, oh, man, you can't quit. I need you to do what you do. You're good at it. All this, that, and this, and outside temperature. was affecting his internal spiritual temperature, and he loves God. And I said, you can't quit. You got to just one more day. What do you mean one more day? I said, you got to do it one more day. Okay, then what do I do? Do it one more day. Then what do I do? One more day. How'd you quit smoking? One more day. One more stinking day. How did he learn to catch like that? One more day. One more day. How do you learn to get better? One more day. Hey, read your Bible. Start something new tomorrow. And then guess what? How many more days? And then another. And guess what you got built? A spiritual foundation. You got a wall built. It didn't show up built. JT, what do you want? You want to be the best high school basketball player in Florida County, right? I see this dude work all the time. He doesn't know. We don't hardly talk. If you know JT, don't talk to you much. Right? That's a good trait. I wish I had more of that. But you know what I do see him do? Work. All the time this kid is working. He's building a foundation, fundamental foundation in basketball. How many days? One. And tomorrow, another day, and tomorrow, another day. When he's a senior, you will remember his name because he's building it one day. I see him. Everywhere he's at, he's got a ball in his hand. He's doing it. Proud of you. So that's being intentional, right? You don't got to be talented, athletic. You don't even have to have the highest IQ. You don't even got to be able to read or write. You ain't got to be able to read or write very well to serve. Be intentional, serving or helping or laboring to bless someone or encourage them. If you can't labor, then you can encourage. You can pray. And what that prayer meeting is about back there in the back at 9:15 in the morning is Pierce, Sister Beachy are usually the only people there. Other people come at times. It's intentional prayer. Why is it called intentional? It's direct. It's an action. It's an action. You have to connect with your intentions and make them come to life. Connect with your intentions. Remind yourself that you have a God that loves you, wants you to win, wants you to feel peace and joy, produce fruit. And if we don't focus on raising our spiritual temperature, it's not going to just automatically happen. We got to be intentional. Proverbs 21:2. Again. Every man's way is right in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the heart. What's inside of you? What's inside of you? How can we change it? Psalm 51:10. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Why do we need a steadfast spirit? Because this what? Fluctuates, right? Your temperature fluctuates. Why are we always constantly adjusting a thermostat? Why is that? To regulate our temperature. So if our spiritual temperature is here, what do we got to do to get it to here? Renew a steadfast spirit within me. Association, relationships. Everybody's heard, you hang out. Tell me your 3 people you hang out with, and I'll tell you, how successful you'll be, or how much money you make, or whatever. But it's truth in there's truth to that in our spiritual walk. So relationships, people who have good traits, you need to look for them. My wife knows that about me all too well. She knows when I'm in the Word. She knows who I've been hanging out with. She knows if I've been hanging out with Paul or some Leroy over there across the street and we're talking about old times, I come home differently. So you need high temperature associates on this earth. You ever thought of anybody like that? What is it? Soar with the eagles or fly with the buzzards? Something like, what is it? Is that right? Buzzards, what do they eat? Right? You don't want to be around a bunch of buzzards. Are you just bringing God with you? A spiritual temperature, does it fluctuate in a boardroom, business meetings, on the job? You got somebody that calls in, you call in. Are we a different person at Bible study? How are we at the ball game? Huh? How are we at a ball game? Well, there was a dude laying on a field the other night fighting for his life, and you got adults yelling at referees. That's going to bring that kid back. I guarantee it. Bad temperature. Bad temperature. Bad temperature. But we can pray. You can pray in those situations. Lord, help me handle this well. Lord, help me know what to say when my son walks across the field. His teammate leaves in a helicopter. I don't know what to say. I've never had that conversation. Ever. I don't want to have it again. But that outside temperature was low spiritual temperature. We have to pray to regulate it and try to get it to 100. So we got to look for spiritual, financial, physical, and empathetic mentors to spend time with. Seek out people that are good in areas of your weaknesses. Stay in the Word and follow Jesus, because we know you can have all the good friends in the world. If you don't know Jesus, it don't matter. It don't matter. Jesus paid it all, just like the song. Stay in the Word and follow Jesus. Jesus and His Word is the answer. I'm going to give you a few verses here, and then I'm going to have one of my mentors come up and talk for a second. Matthew 6:3. Anybody ever heard that one? But seek first. When do we seek it? First. And His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Well, that sounds really cool. I really like that to happen in my life. Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. Sorry, I got to get more. All right, so association. There it is right there in Proverbs. Peter 3:3-4. Peter 3. But let it be the hidden person of the heart with the imperishable quality of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is precious in the sight of God. Well, who are we doing this for? Are you doing it for Sally? Karen? Is there anybody in there named Karen? Sorry. You doing it for Karen? Who are you doing it for? What does He care about? Your spiritual temperature. What's on the inside? What's the inside like? How are you regulating that? Luke 6:45. Chapter 6, verse 45. The good man out of the good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth what is good, and the evil man out of the evil treasure brings forth what is evil. For his mouth speaks from that which fills his heart. That one hurts a lot. I must have an ugly heart. I've told you I'm preaching to myself. because I say a lot of ugly stuff. Ezekiel 36:26, we know that one by now because that was one of the earlier ones we talked about, and I'm sure we memorized it. Moreover, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you, and I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. There it is. Jeremiah 29:13. There's one more after this. You will seek me and find me when you search for me. Just sometimes, what's the last of that? With all your heart. You know, when you got a little baby, oh, I just love this baby with all my heart. God loves you. Jesus is there for you. Search for me with all your heart. All of it. Proverbs 4:33, chapter 4, verse 33. Do not turn to the right nor left. Turn your foot from evil. What does your heart desire? If you're starting out with Matthew 6:3 and then you get into Jeremiah and you seek him with all of your heart, then Proverbs 4:33 gets a little bit easier. Spiritual temperature. So I have a mentor when it comes to things that I'm really bad at, empathy, things like that. Me and this guy started hanging around each other just out of dumb luck. It's not a thing. God put us with each other, right? Right? We were at a dinner, didn't know each other, and then we just talked because we're both good at that. And he showed me some things in life. Showed me how to overcome some things. And he has no idea. When I talked to him Thursday about this, he was like, what? No, man. I was like, yes, you're the guy. I need you to just be you and tell some things about overcoming. And we may have our own plan, but this guy's had his own plan and had it changed several times. God put him in different spots. And he'll tell you about it real quick, and then we'll do communion. Paul Kinder, will you come up here for a second, please? I won't make you stand there. There's probably an easier way to do this, but I always do it the hard way. So far, you're right. See there? Accountability partner, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there you go.
I'm, first of all, not really sure why I'm here.
You're here to talk.
We're driving down the road the other day. We were actually going up to our cabin and talking, and Brent said, you need to say that Sunday. So I'm going to say it today. I'm not sure why yet, but hopefully he'll tie it in. We were talking about God's plan and gifts that God gives you and whether you use them or not. And we're talking about gifts that you wanted God to give you that you didn't get. And we talked about gifts that he gave you that you didn't particularly want. I so admire these folks here that come up here and sing and play for us. That's something I've enjoyed all my life. My mom played the piano by ear and sang in the choir and dabbles on the piano a little bit, not near enough for my liking, but she does. And I so admire those kind of people, and I wanted to be those people real young. When I was about 8 years old, I talked my parents into buying me a piano because I wanted to learn the piano. And I took lessons for about a year and a half. And one day, unprovoked, out of the clear blue, the piano teacher calls my mom and said, Miss Kinder, this boy's wasting my time and your money. He's not going to get this. So my mom sold my piano. A few years later, we had a single mom came to our church, 2 little boys. I mowed yards from the time I was about 12 on. I found out that she taught music. I thought, here's a deal. I went to her and I said, look, I'll mow your yard all summer long if you'll teach me how to play the guitar. She said, man, that's a good idea. So I ran to the pawn shop and bought me a $10 guitar. And I went to Ben Jack's Guitar Center and they put on a new set of strings and tuned it. And I went and mowed her yard, and I went and got a guitar lesson. And I mowed her yard the next week, and I went back for my next guitar lesson. She said, look, I'll just pay you to mow the yard. It'll be okay. I don't have that ability. It's something I wanted really bad. Maybe I can change God's mind. Fast forward several more years, Ann and I get married. We're at a little church over in Van Buren where I'd been for 20 years. And we were asked by the staff not to sing so joyfully. Could we tone it down a little bit? Because we don't have the ability to sing, and we were trying to. Sometimes you don't work in your talents, and it doesn't go well. And every time I try to work outside my talents, it doesn't go well. So I admire the people up here who work in their talents and add so much to our service. And I'm so thankful for them. Something else that I always wanted and never had is I love encouraging people. I love people who are so encouraging to each other and lift each other up. And I wasn't one of those guys. But I prayed for years for God to use me as an encourager. We started running. My wife was running, and she was having a mental tough time. So I thought, well, I'm going to go run with her. And I'd never run anything except punishment for when I screwed up in football or baseball. And I called a friend and said, I don't know how to do this. She says, well, go buy a pair of tennis shoes, and I'll hook you up, and you can come run with her. I went to Academy Sports, and I was looking for a pair of shoes. Didn't know anything about buying running shoes at all. I have a wide foot. I need wide shoes. So I asked the lady, I said, can you help me find a pair of wide width shoes in this size? And she looked me up and down and said, sir, most people that run aren't your size. They're smaller. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I missed the mark again. But I stuck with it, and God blessed me with it. And I started working in the running community, and I helped a couple of women with a group called Women on Arkansas, and it's a couch to 5K kind of thing. And the last year that we did that, we had over 600 women. We helped learn how to run. I was on the on the board for Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and they have a fundraiser race they do every year. And they were trying to up the entries because they needed more money. And they tasked myself and this other lady with how to do that. And so we started a running group. And we trained people how to run half marathons. And I finally felt like God had given me that arena to be an encourager. And I love to talk to people about running. I enjoy it. And you've heard those saying, those that can't just teach. Well, I'm not a great runner anymore, but I do coach a lot of runners. And I was thankful that God finally gave me an arena to use my talents, and it worked out really well. And then I'm talking to Brent, and he said, well, you got to tell this. You got to tell this. And I'm thinking, why? And this morning I thought, well, maybe it's because he didn't prepare enough and needs to stretch this a little bit. I'm not really sure. But since Brent and I talked Thursday morning, and he asked me to do this, and I still don't know why, I started thinking about working within my abilities as an encourager. And they're God talents only, not mine, I promise you. And then I started thinking about how I fail, how I don't use that talent like I should. It's easy for me to come here and be with really cool Christian folks and be encouraging. You look nice, or that was a good word, or you got a cute baby, or whatever. But then I go home to this lady, and I don't do that. I've only got another confession to make, and this wasn't my plan, but I'm going to do this. just because I'm kind of feeling kind of vulnerable right now. I come to church with you for a long time. We come on Wednesday nights. I don't even know your name. Stacy. I'm sorry. Because I sit here every week and think, she shows up so faithful, and she's always dressed so nice, and she looks pretty, and those words don't come out of my mouth, and they should. So, thank you. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry to you that I don't do that to you. It hurts that I don't use this gift that I prayed for so hard, but I don't use it to the best of my abilities and the best of God's abilities. So, while I'm working in my talents, what I hope are my talents, I'm not there yet, and I'm still striving to get better. And Brent's going to explain to you now why he wanted me to do this and embarrass myself, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. Wasn't that good? When I heard it, I was like, man, that's why he's in my circle. Because he makes me better and want to be better. And we're not perfect. That's the beauty of it. The last part was the best. Man, we're going to mess up. Jesus was the only one perfect. We're going to mess up. But we can't allow the outside temperature to affect our internal temperature. Where are you at spiritually? How can we get better? And it's okay. Do you see that arrow? Do you see where it goes? Boom, 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 boom. Who helps you raise that and help others? It isn't always about you. But at the end of the day, Jesus, God, is the only person. Your grandma can't pray you into heaven. Can't do it. Be around the people that help you be better. Jesus, keep the main thing the main thing. And let's do communion. I love you. Thank you guys for letting me speak. Thank you guys for accepting Paul. I appreciate you so much.